We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Aric. Aric, after our advice last week about upgrading his front three Pioneer Andrew Jones speakers to try to improve dialogue, clarity, and detail, he's going to give us some info because I said that, it's the room. He has at least 8 feet from the back of his seats to the wall behind him, so there's no reflection there. His distance from his front speakers is around 12 feet. The room is fully carpeted and has thick drapes on the side walls, and while it might not be acoustically treated, it's definitely not highly reflective either, so he's actually put a fair amount of thought into the acoustics, having done plenty of research on the forums. So now he's trying to decide whether he should start with just a center speaker while keeping his Pioneer towers for the time being, or whether having a perfect timbre match across the front three is vital, as many forum members have suggested. Dude, those dudes are totally wrong. But let's go on.
Well, I'm kind of on that side.
No,
I wouldn't say
you
vital.
are not. They are saying perfect timbre match is vital. Is not vital. And, by the way, it's not a perfect timbre match. It's not.
But I am definitely a fan of, and I like the way James Bougel puts it when he comes on the podcast, right? You got a car driving across, you don't want it to go from being a Volkswagen to a Ferrari to a Volkswagen, right? You don't want that. You want a timbre mismatch that bad.
No.
You want it to stay the same model of
could
car
have like
as it travels from left to center to right, or vice versa.
Nissan to Toyota to Nissan. Something like that. Camry to an Altima to Camry. Though I don't really, maybe a Camry to a Accord to a Camry would be okay. All right, after discussion, his top 3 candidates are now the HSU Horn-Loaded Center, Ascend CMT 340 SEs, and the Aperion 5C. With each of these, if you went for their basic black finish and bookshelf left-right, you could afford to buy all 3 front speakers right away. So how would we rank those 3, and how would we describe their sound compared to one another and compared to his Pioneer speakers? He generally likes the Pioneers, but finds them a bit dull in the high end and a bit muddy in terms of detail. So those are the main things he'd like to improve. Okay, I haven't heard the HSU, so I can't say that.
Yeah, you heard the version 1s that you weren't a fan of at all, but they've been updated and certainly improved in the version 2s.
I don't know these models. I know that you've heard the CMTs, Rob, but the Aperions, the 5Cs, I haven't heard those either. So I haven't heard any of these. But generally speaking, I think you'd be fairly well off going with any of these 3 speakers. I would say that the Ascend and the Aperions are probably more alike than they are different, though I don't know that for sure.
I'd agree.
And the HSU is going to sound probably compared to the other 2 different. Will it be better different? I don't know.
The HSU is certainly it is more efficient. It is more directional. So if you're going to pick one speaker out of these that probably sounds the most different,
yeah, it would be the HSU.
It'd probably be that one. Now, if you're getting all 3 at once, then the timbre match across those front 3 isn't going to be a big problem.
No.
And the extra efficiency is, might be nice. But generally where I like these speakers is someone who's sitting a little bit farther away.
Yeah.
Because the extra efficiency really helps you there. Or they have a little bit more of a reflective room because then the more directional sound, it's not as wide a spread of sound. It's a little bit more beamy. It can be a help if you have a more reflective room. So it's those situations where I'd probably point you there. I mean, to me, the Aperion 5C is like a super safe choice here.
Yeah.
Because the Pioneers are already very neutral. I can totally understand what he's saying because they have a bit of a high frequency roll off.
They do.
And Andrew Jones himself has made no bones about that. He's like, for a $130 tower, I had to make some compromises.
Yeah.
And rather than having it sound shrill, I decided to have a little bit of a high frequency roll off. That is a better compromise in his view. And I agree with that choice.
Yeah, 100%.
But you're saying they're a little bit dull. I could like a little bit more detail. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, the Aperion 5C, really neutral speaker, just better. I'm like, it's what you have, but better. Right? Which to me, I'm like, how could you be unhappy with that? Right? The Ascend, very similar. I mean, I'm going to say definitely more similar than different.
Yeah.
To me, the Ascend's don't sound the same as the Pioneers. I think they have, like, I always say that Ascend SE Tweeter, I consider it a cut above because it has very little residual energy, very low distortion, which is kind of almost a plus and a minus, because when you first hear it, a lot of people's first reaction to Ascend speakers is, how come these sound quieter?
Yeah.
It's very similar to like when you get your first pair
sub.
of really low distortion subs, and everyone's first reaction is, why does my bass sound quieter? And it's actually because with a complete lack of distortion, our brain goes, well, that's not very loud. When we hear distortion, our brain equates loud with distortion. So if you get used to speakers that have a bit more distortion to them, they sound louder. You get something with less distortion, you go, they sound quieter. They're not as room-filling, right? So I think if you were to upgrade to Ascend, you'd go, there is a difference, and you might not even like it right away. I often say that Ascend speakers, you like them more by their absence. You get used to them, then you take them away, put in something that has higher distortion. You go, oh, I'd rather have the cleaner sound back now, please.
Right.
So to me, I'd probably point you to either the Ascends or the Aperions in your case. I think they're better suited for your situation. I think they're both very safe choices.
Intimus is on sale right now.
Yeah.
They're $200. That speaker is normally $350. It's $200 right now, and the entire
Whoa.
Gloss
Wow.
line is up to 43% off.
Whew. Well, there you go.
So there's your
That tips you.
get Intimus Gloss Black closeout. The towers are $240. The 4T towers, the 5B bookshelves are $270.
Yeah.
The center channel is $200.
Yeah, that's huge.
You could get a
You could probably get 5 speakers.
you could. I'm looking at it right now, but
Four bookshelves and the center, because then your surrounds will perfectly timbre match too. How nice would that be? No,
right.
I mean, if you were to get the Aperion 5C and the matching bookshelf speakers to go with that,
the 5Bs.
I would be shocked if you were disappointed.
So
I mean, I really would.
$740 for 5 speakers.
I mean, he had a
$740.
$600 budget, so I mean, you can definitely do the 3.
Yeah, but you
$600
could
budget.
get all of them for $740.
Yeah.
No stands though. No stands. All right.
There you go.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.